Hey y'all, happy Friday. It's Tiffany Slater, your CEO of HR TailorMade, and welcome to the HR TailorMade Live Series Special Edition. Because yesterday we did an interview with one of my faves, Keith Turner, Artis Keith Turner, that is, of the TurnGroup Technologies, and we couldn't hear him. So, because it was such a great conversation, I knew it was important for us to come right back here and do it again. And we're doing it today on Friday. So it's going to be a great conversation. And don't forget, these conversations are all about showing you all of the resources that are available to help you in your business so that you can stop wearing all of the hats. It's not necessary. Hire some consultants, hire some experts to do all those things that you are perhaps not the best at doing. And so, without further ado, I am going to bring up one of my faves. And he is one of my faves because, one, we've known each other for almost 30 years. We went to high school together. He is a dear friend, an entrepreneur, a financial teacher, a children's book author, and a philanthropist. Please help me welcome Mr. Artis Keith Turner.
Tiffany.
How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. So we're gonna see if we can recreate the magic that we had.
I know, but you know what? It's got to be better today because it's Friday.
Okay, I'll
Gotta
take.
be better. Gotta be better. So I need that same energy you had yesterday
I'm
on
trying.
Friday.
I'm trying. Look.
Let's do it. It's Friday. Let's do it. Okay. So let's tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Okay, I'm artist Keith Turner. I'm a serial entrepreneur based in St. Louis area, and my core business is TurnGroup Technologies, and we work with companies in a variety of different capacities to help them solve their technology-related issues. And then, as you know, and as you introduced, I've launched and founded some apps and some other companies, children's books, and
Mhm.
most recently a dog treat company. So just really interested in trying to understand how business systems and processes work,
Mhm.
and particularly helpful with our clients in helping them understand how technology impacts the success of their business.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So tell me about Turn Group Technologies. What do you all do and how do you help small businesses?
Okay, so primarily we do two things, right?
Okay.
The first thing is that we help companies use um, websites, mobile applications, digital content, online digital marketing to better understand and originate new clients.
Mhm.
So that can look like anything from developing a web app to funnel more clients to a particular service, or it could look like you developing a video to
Mhm.
particularly engage clients in a campaign and then being able to capture that data and analyze how effectively your spend is. So we do a lot for clients in that space, a lot of consulting, a lot of strategy and
Mhm.
implementation. Then on the other side, we work with companies directly with their infrastructure, and that's actually what we started Turn Group doing in 2002. Actually, what I started Turn Group doing in 2002,
Mhm.
and that's helping companies with their infrastructure. So if you're starting a company or you have an established company and you're trying to understand how um, your systems, your routers, your fund accounting system, your switches, your servers, how all of these things are working to help you. That's kind of what we do for companies, especially smaller to medium sized companies, companies that are probably under 30 employees and that need to outsource this type of technology talent. So we do all of
Yeah.
that for them and more.
Okay, I love it. Okay, and so for people like me who don't really understand what you just said, let me give you a scenario and then you break it down for me, okay?
Okay, go
So,
ahead.
so I'm a small business owner, right? I have a YouTube page. I do all my, live videos on LinkedIn and Facebook. And yeah. I mean, so I come to you and I say, okay, I think I need you, but what can you do for me? How can you help me?
Okay, so the first thing that I would do is put on my entrepreneur hat, which a lot of startup companies don't like. Like a lot of people are very comfortable with their business model and they really want to hire us just to do what they want us to do. But the first thing I would do is try to get that person to assess what the value is and what the impact is of what they're trying to do with that particular
I lost your audio. I think it's the internet.
connection between what they accomplish with their business and what they're spending. And so what we would do is we would sit down, we would assess what you're trying to accomplish with this particular campaign or this strategy. We look at it, we try to understand how effectively you can reach that audience with what you're trying to do, and then at that point we suggest, we summarize, suggest some advice, and then we try to get you to hire us to implement what we suggest. Now, if it's something that we feel like you are not effectively doing, or if something's not going to effectively impact your bottom line, then we would suggest that you change your route.
Yeah.
Again, we're here to consult, we're here to guide, but most people know what they're trying to accomplish better than we are. So we really are here as a tool or support piece to help you execute and implement. But we're there to hold your hand and
Yeah.
make sure that what you're trying to accomplish is being accomplished with your strategy.
I love it. That's really helpful.
Message from yesterday, but we're getting there.
Yeah. It's all good. And so what I think I hear you saying is, you help us get there by giving us the analytics behind the work that we're doing so that we can make informed, data-driven decisions. Is
Yeah,
that
we definitely intend to be able to give you some great analytics. But again, first you have to look at past performance. You have to look at best practices, and then because sometimes you don't have data, and so
yeah.
we have to find somewhere to start. But it
Mhm.
really needs to be based on what you're trying to accomplish. A lot of people try to copy other people's business models and other people's strategy, but they don't analyze the effectiveness of if it's trying to reach their
Mhm.
target audience, and if that target audience they're trying to reach really is defined by what they're looking to offer with their business. So we can get real wordy and with this, but when it's all said and done, we're trying to make sure that you're matching the proper strategy with the proper target audience so you can be as effective and efficient as possible in what you're spending with regards to online digital marketing, or your website development. Maybe you just want
Mhm.
develop a website for marketing purposes. Well,
Mhm.
we want to make sure that your strategy, your design, and your web copy is effective for you to be able to do that. And it's really simpler than what we make it to be. But
Yeah.
again, it requires analysis, it
Yeah.
requires assessment, it requires a process.
Got it. Got it. So, what is the biggest technological challenge you see small businesses struggle with?
Mm. So the biggest challenge is wow, I love it because it's something we mentioned yesterday. It's the idea of dealing with what they don't know.
Mhm.
And so a lot of times, a lot of money and time and effort is wasted trying to assess and understand an area of business that they don't know. And I get that as an entrepreneur, you have to wear many hats.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, what people think is an expensive proposition is really not. And so you have to look at, in my perspective, my recommendation is that you look at the cost of your time.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, somebody trying to execute their business model is a much better use of their time than trying to quickly learn and understand how to set up a web server, or to set up a backup server, or to set up some type of pro-safe cybersecurity tool. And so, in that sense, a lot of companies, a lot of people spend wasted time, wasted energy, and particularly wasted trying to solve technology problems that could be more easily solved if they hired an outside company to handle that and allow them to focus on focus on their core business and their core business model. So yeah, to be short and answer that quickly, most companies have focus creep, I guess that's a good way to put it, and they're trying to
Yeah.
do all of these different things around their business instead of focusing on their core business and their core business model.
Got it. Thank you for that. And I definitely think that I know for sure I experienced that. I still go through it. There are so many
I do too.
carrots.
I do too.
Yes, and there's so many, like, shiny objects, and it's like, "Okay, let me try that. Is that gonna make me more efficient?" And, this thing says it's gonna help me do all 30 things that I need to do, and then once you try it, it's like, "No, but it really doesn't." So, I get it, and I can certainly appreciate why that is one of our biggest challenges. So, Keith, what types of businesses do you all support? Can you hear me? I am losing you. Okay. I think I lost him, but I'm gonna wait here patiently because he has such great information to share with us. One of the things that I love chatting about in these conversations is all of the resources that are available to small business owners that we don't necessarily know enough about to go and do the research on. So these conversations, excuse me, these conversations are an opportunity for small business owners to learn new information, to gather information about consultants and individuals that are available to provide support to you all, so that, well, to us, because it is impossible for us to do everything on our own. It's just not possible. And you know what? Who started a business to have to do all of the things? I didn't. I really didn't. So it's important for me to always create relationship with people and really understand what they do that can help me and my business thrive. One of the ways that they can help me thrive is by saving me time in my business. And because if you're like me, I will do research until I find the end of Google. So that is it's so important that we reach out to other experts so that they can help us. Welcome back.
Thank you. What happened?
Well, so I was asking you, what type of businesses do you all support?
Okay, so um, great question. So over the years, we've supported companies, and I love to use the example because it was a great partnership. Print Pack, which is an $8 billion company, and we ran one of their resource warehouses here in the St. Louis region. So large companies and small companies, a lot of startup companies, a lot of companies that are trying to understand and establish their business models, their value propositions, and execute mobile applications and web applications. So we work with companies on the website, mobile app development, app tools side, companies as large as um, 30, 40, 100 employees. I'm just thinking in my head. And then on the network infrastructure side, at this time, probably the same. Our largest client is probably about 120 staff members. So we work with a wide variety of businesses. And
Yeah.
again, their demographic is broad, but our demographic or our target business is pretty much the same.
Okay.
We're developing mobile applications, we're developing websites, we're
Mhm.
developing tools to make their processes easier. And then on the other side, we're setting up infrastructure and managing services that they need from a technology space. So if they're servers, if they're systems, if they're
Mhm.
Office 365, whatever we need to manage their internal works and processes, that's what we do. So we're
Gotcha.
not everything to everybody. Definitely have a niche in those two spaces, and we're a pretty small team, but I got a team of some great people who are very good at what they do, and
Mhm.
that's been able to help sustained since 2002.
Awesome. That's cool. I mean, and to be have been in business that long, like what prompted you to start your business? I don't think I've ever asked you that question.
No, no, you have not. And it's an interesting question. I think it's an intersection of people around me that one empowered me to understand that if you want to be able to make decisions that impact people within business, then a lot of times it's good for you to have your own. It's not the only way,
Yeah.
but it's good for you to have your own. And then the other part about it is that, um, when you start thinking about how you want to impact and change things
Yeah.
as an African American male, um, a program that I came up in called St. Paul Saturdays, their founder would take us to see other companies that were founded and principled by African American males and females. And it always seemed to be something that we needed more of. So as I got older and I looked at more opportunities to start a company and work for myself, it was only appropriate, only necessary that at some point I started my own company. And fortunately, I was able to leave a company in 2002 and start my own. And they were one of my first clients after
Yeah.
starting my company. So, what motivated me and drove me to start my own company was that we could offer a valued service,
Yeah.
and but more importantly, knowing that I can make impacts on lives by being able to hire and give opportunities to those that I found and deemed fit and suitable to work with.
Yeah, I love that. I really love that. And it's really cool because I didn't know that you grew up in St. Paul Saturdays either. So what age group do they start with? Because I have two boys.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I do know that.
Yeah.
So they start at 6. I mean, we say 5, but we really start at 6,
Okay.
and we really ride with them all the way until they go past college. But 6 to 18 are the ages that we market, but typically they stay part of the family until you know whenever they want to disassociate themselves. So, interestingly enough, I ran into a young man at Bonefish Grill the other day, and he recognized me before I recognized him. And he now is a celebrity chef. I don't even know if he's 25 yet. He was on a TV show recently, Guys Grocery Store
Uh-huh.
Grab, you
Yeah.
know. And this young man is out of the St. Louis area. His name is Chef JR on IG. I'm giving plug to people, but
That's
the
okay.
reality is they stay connected, and this program is built quite a supplement in partnership with many households throughout the St. Louis area. So yeah, St. Paul Saturdays is still around and kicking. Through COVID, we started doing virtual calls, but the program is around and current on September 11th. I think it's September 11th. Next Saturday, they'll be doing a lemonade day, which is their entrepreneurship exercise to teach them how to raise money and start a business by selling lemonade, which is a kind of a national thing. So,
Yeah. You know what? My children, I am definitely going to have to connect with you about that because they have been asking to sell lemonade forever. And I'm like, we're not going outside. First of all, in the middle of a pandemic. No. But they definitely have entrepreneurial spirits. And I would love to get them around some individuals like you all and other people their age that they can connect with on that level too. So that's really cool. Okay, so back to
yeah,
the regular scheduled programming.
okay, okay.
So, I guess this is a little bit along the same lines, but how do you find time to run your business, explore other investment ventures or entrepreneurial ventures, and give back?
Hmm. So, I always say you have to be laser beam focused on making sure that you understand the viability of your business.
Yeah.
And that's something that is always a work in progress. You and I both know that.
Mhm.
And all I can tell you is that I'm not laser beam focused, but the intention is there. I try to be as organized and as disciplined with my schedule as possible, but I clearly make to-do lists every day
Mhm.
that are impossible to accomplish in one day. I try to make, what did they say in high school? Copious notes. But I try to make sure that I am focusing on what I need to focus on. With all of that said, that all sounds good. Um, I don't reach those goals. I don't stay focused. And the only thing that I can encourage other people to do is to set that goal and create a process and plan to help them stay focused,
Yeah.
because it requires a lot of time for me to be able to work on TurnGroup Technologies activities, and then also do research for another company, or also, consult directly somebody, or also mentor somebody. So it takes a lot of organization. And I'm not saying I'm the best at that, but I will say that I spend quite a bit of time. And as an entrepreneur, you know, like I know that in order to be successful, you have to put the work in, you have to put
Yeah.
the time in. So, my days are, 12-hour days, and my
Yeah.
days are 14-hour days. And they're that way because I understand that the things that I'm trying to accomplish
Yeah.
require that type of time and commitment. And
Mhm.
sometimes that research that I'm doing won't, it won't amount to anything that I'm going to use, but you have to kind of go through these pathways to evaluate what's going to work, what's not going to work, where you need to be.
Yeah.
And, and the other thing is having a good team of people around you. That is tremendous when you have good team. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, I don't need a team. I was like, everybody could use a valuable team
Yeah.
of talented staff that could help you.
Yeah.
And I would just encourage people that when you're trying to reach those goals, and you're very ambitious like most people are, and they start to, when you're an entrepreneur, you start to see opportunity in everything.
Yeah.
Try to focus, try to make sure you're valuing your time properly, and that you're putting the proper amount of time and the focus to making your core interest or your core business successful.
Mhm. That's good advice, really good advice. And something you said before, probably yesterday, but you were saying that Turn Group is your means to be able to give back, basically,
Right.
because
Absolutely.
that is what giving back for you is what is most important. That's what I gathered.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what definitely what we had mentioned yesterday, and I'm glad you brought it back up today, because that is truly, one of my motivations for, you know, developing a career and developing a business, is being able to look at other opportunities to help people and to understand strategies that can help people be more successful in their business, or just, to be able to help people directly.
Mhm.
You sit on some boards, I sit on some boards, and it's a blessing to be a blessing. And when you serve on some of these boards, you recognize how helpful some very basic things can be to changing lives and changing organizations. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I take it as a blessing to be able to have a business that, is not huge,
Yeah.
but is not too small either, and to be able to use a lot of the energy and the time that I'm putting in Turn Group Technologies, and use some of that impact and effort to help other organizations, and definitely other people and other
Yeah.
individuals.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you for that. So, what is the best advice you can give small business owners as it relates to their technology?
So I think it's something to circle back to what we mentioned earlier, and that is to make sure that you're hiring people who can effectively help you.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying most people do have the capacity to be able to learn anything in technology on their own. If they had, 2 or 3 months, they could learn how to program. If they had, a week or so, they could learn how to configure routers and switches. And so it's not a question of talent or the ability, but it is a question of, do you really have the time and the opportunity to focus on trying to learn something else
Mhm.
that is out of the scope of your business. So I would say the best advice I would give is to find a technology partner like us, but to find a technology partner that can wear that technology hat for you. So that is one less thing you have to worry about in growing and developing your business.
Yeah, yeah. And how can people reach you other than your website?
Oh, yeah. So you can always reach us at turngroup.com, turngroup.com. But you can also call the office 314-289-8734. That's 314-289-8734. And we're not hard to find. Again, we're not the best fit for everybody, but
Yeah,
the that we have a good fit with, we tend to keep long-term partnerships with. And again, we
yeah.
have for-profit clients, we have not-for-profit clients, we have startup companies. We really do
I lost you again. You're frozen.
try to.
You are frozen again. I'll tell you what, technology will not let us be great. These last 2 days where we tried to do this live.
What part didn't you catch?
Um, you know what? I forgot, and now your screen is black. And so I don't remember what part, but we got your phone number, so it's all good. And I think this is a great place to end this particular conversation. And so, thank you so much, Artist Keith Turner, for joining me today and sharing all of your wonderful wisdom about technology and how Turn Group Technologies helps small businesses and sometimes larger businesses with their technology needs, and helping us to stay on the straight and narrow with regard to using our technology to help us meet our goals and our marketing needs. So thank you so much. It's always great chatting with you. And I'm so glad that you all were here with me today on Friday. So I'm so happy that you all were able to listen to us and gather this information. I am Dr. Tiffany Slater of HR TailorMade, the HR solution for small businesses. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter on the website so that you know all of the happenings and you can get great HR tips as well. And then you know what? Email us and tell us what you want to know more about and who you want us to interview. This show is for you. I have a lot of fun doing it, but I do it because I want to make sure that small business owners like me are able to gather the information that they need as the same way that I get it by meeting all of these wonderful people that I interview. So next week, I'll be talking to Marilyn Green of JFY Consulting, and we'll be chatting about grants and funding. So if you need grants and funding, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. So join me next week for a great conversation. And until next time, be kind to yourself.